Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Randi.
And I'm Matt.
And you're watching
Word of Mouth.
Well, what are you doing being friends with a bunch of no-good scum in the first place for?
Oh, they ain't my friends.
What are they then?
Had some business with them.
What kind of business?
Oh, some of that none of your business.
I saw the new Martin McDonagh play, Behanding in Spokane.
There's a guy named Carmichael, played by Christopher Walken, and Carmichael is clearly missing one hand, and he is in a really rundown Fleabag hotel.
It's all about this guy trying to hunt down or locate his hand, which was wrongfully taken 47 years earlier when some hillbillies held his arm on a railroad track. So he's devoted his life to getting his hand back.
Toby and Marilyn are a couple of punk kids, basically, who deal weed and are lovers. And they've decided that it would be swift for them to try to scam Carmichael out of $500 by pretending to deliver this hand that he's been searching for. Not too smart, as it turns out, because they're messing with somebody who's a total maniac.
So then enters Mervyn, who is the receptionist at the hotel, but he doesn't want to be called the receptionist. He works on reception.
He answers the phones, he probably cleans the toilets, he shows up in people's rooms randomly. He initially shows up because he thinks that he's heard a gunshot in the room.
The characters are each completely interesting and unique in their own part, and they all do a great job. All the actors in this are great. There's 4 of them, and they're all terrific.
Christopher Walken played Carmichael. He is just hilarious. He's so funny.
I'm a huge Christopher Walken fan, so I was looking forward to this play, and he did not disappoint me at all.
People do have certain expectations of him, and he pretty much delivers on those. He has all of the Walken cadences in his language, and it's so funny to sit there and listen to it because it's him, it's the man,
I'd be surprised if they didn't write it for Christopher Walken. I didn't do much research to see what characters they had in mind when they wrote the play, but I could not imagine anybody but Christopher Walken doing this.
I'm gonna say Sam Rockwell for me was the favorite. He's just so amazing.
His face is funny, his body language is funny, and his readings of the lines are very funny.
The writing is really the star, but he inhabits the character beautifully.
Toby, played by Anthony Mackie, he did a great job.
I think a lot of people know Anthony Mackie now because of The Hurt Locker. So that there's a curiosity there to see him, and he's awesome. He's great.
He was very funny. He didn't have as many of the quirky things that he had to do as some of the other characters, but he was very funny.
Zoe as Marilyn, she was great. She was like, I guess, stoned out of her mind or just not very bright at all.
I think Zoe Kazan's role was a really difficult role because she had to be a lot of things that just didn't seem to go together. She had to be somebody who was concerned about racism and homophobia, and yet who is clueless in a way that you don't think that a character like that would ever think about those things.
No fault of her own. It's just not a great female part. She's supposed to be ditzy, and she's supposed to be cute, and she's supposed to be real worried, and she does all of that perfectly well. It's not a well-written part.
I just thought this play was hilariously funny and completely worth every minute I spent sitting in that seat.
I thought it was original and clever and fascinating and incredibly well acted.
Laughing nearly constantly, smiling the rest of the time, and a few moments of being appalled.
It was wrongfully hilarious. It was dark and wrong in every level, but hilarious on every level.
Honestly, it's not that disturbing. It's not as far as McDonagh has pushed it in the past, but it does have all of his creepy, weirdo, crazy musings. I was expecting it to be more uproariously funny, but it was funny. It just wasn't hysterical.
I would definitely recommend it to my friends who are into chopped off hands and profanity and Christopher Walken. Like, it's good.
You will have fun, and you'll also be a little bit nervous, and I think that's great theater.
I'm going to recommend it to a lot of people, and I'm going to try to see it again.
And who minds a balloon being in a tree anyway, a couple of days, would have just been carried away by the wind. That, or it would have just deflated of its own accord. Well, it got carried into the tree. So why couldn't it get carried out of the tree by the wind? Snagged. Yeah.